Hello, and welcome to a very different kind of video from anything that I usually do. My name is Bella, if you didn't know, also known as Pie and Love, also known as Girl Who Covered Caesar's theme that one time and didn't really do a half-bad job of it. At least that's kind of what I'm known as in the JoJo's fandom, so if you think you've seen me before, that's probably where you've seen me before. Hi! So, to celebrate the release of Part 6 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the anime, I am going to be doing a video that I have kind of off and on promised people that I would do within my friend group, just because I think it's going to be a mildly entertaining video, hopefully, and because I'm super excited, and I wanted to do some sort of video, and I was like, oh my god, what should I do, what should I do? Well, I guess I could do this one thing that I've been saying I will do. But I just wanted to do something to celebrate Stone Ocean's release, because I'm probably gonna end up staying up all night, and watching the episodes the minute they release, and watch all 12 of them at once, because I have a problem. Anyways, what I'm gonna be doing today is an idiot's ranking of all of the stands in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3, Stardust Crusaders. My favorite part. You know why it's my favorite part? Because Polnareff's in it. It's mostly Polnareff. Also, I like the Monster of the Week aspect. That I'm actually a big fan of it. Not a lot of people are. How I'm gonna rank these, as you can see now on the screen, I have a tier list open in Paint 3D, my photo editor of choice. I don't really have another choice. This is just what I have, so deal with it. Originally, I was gonna rank all of them numerically from, like, worst to best, like 31 to 1, and then that ended up being way too much because I kept internally, like, moving stands up and down as I saw fit, and it became so much, so I figured a tier list would be easier on my little noggin, as I am a raging idiot. So, I'm gonna rank these stands based on the following criteria, which is very loose, very sporadic, very eclectic, probably gonna break my own criteria when we get there. We'll deal with that bridge whenever we get to it. So, 1, is it a good stand? Is it powerful? Does it make a big impact on the reader or the watcher when it shows up in the anime or the manga? 2, is the design neat? Is it a cool concept? And 3, do I like it or am I terrified of it? Because there's like 1 or 2 on here that just fucking freak me out. This is all gonna be my opinion. You're just gonna have to deal with it. And let's get into it. This is gonna start off in reverse alphabetical order because that's just how I ended up importing the images into this. So we're gonna start with Yellow Temperance. Mildly memorable. You see, a point in this stand's favor is that I can't figure out how else to beat it other than doing what Jotaro did, which was pretty clever, because it is a pretty powerful stand. Stand user, annoying as all hell. Don't like Rubber Soul. He's a great character to hate on, but the stand is actually pretty neat. It's a decent enough concept. Definitely not one of my personal favorite stands. However, when I was watching Part 3 for the first time, I remember my good friend brought out a deck of tarot cards and was like, pick one, let's see which one would be your stand. And I drew the Temperance card, and we hadn't gotten to Temperance yet, and he was like, well, we'll see how you like that one. Don't really like it. It's a good episode, decent enough stand, so I want to say it's a solid B tier stand so far. I may just shove it into the C tier, but I don't think... Yeah, it's a very middle of the ground. I'm gonna move it to C tier. I'm gonna move him to C tier. I can move it if I want to later on, but, you know, for now, Yellow Temperance, C tier. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. Oh no. Wheel of Fortune, like, it's a neat... I guess it's a neat concept. Kind of reminds me of... The whole episode reminds me of that movie, Duel, which... God, I can't remember the director. I know it was, like, the first movie ever done by a very famous director, and Editing Bella will probably put their name in right now and make fun of the fact that I can't remember who did it. I don't think it was Steven Spielberg. It might have been Steven Spielberg. I'm not sure. But the entire Wheel of Fortune plot, at least the, like, first half of the episode or whatever, or the arc, it reminds me of that, which I, for some reason, remember watching a lot as a child, because my dad likes that movie. So it's already got the nostalgia factor going in its favor. I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about that, and that's why I think it's... Do I like it more than Yellow Temperance? Answer, yes. Yes, I do. So we're actually gonna put Wheel of Fortune in the B tier. It's not a very memorable stand, but, you know, it existed, and it's got some nostalgia factor for me. Yeah. B tier. Okay, Tower of Grey. This guy's fucking terrifying. I'm gonna be honest. Just God, just the proboscis just going out and grabbing tongues. It's just, I hate it. I hate it so much. So it's already got the terrifying factor. I'm already, like, mildly terrified of it. Don't really like bugs, so it's got that in its favor. Faster than Star Platinum. So, like, there's that. It's faster than Star Platinum, but it was taken down by the Emerald Splash.
No one could just deflect the Emerald Splash.
I think Tower of Grey is just... Hate the design. Absolutely hate it, but that's just on a personal bias because I just hate bugs. Which means it's a good design. So I guess... I really don't want to put it in A tier, so I'm gonna put it in B tier, just because, like, part of me wants to put it in A tier because it's a decent enough stand, but then another part of me that is much stronger doesn't want to put it in A tier purely on principle, because fuck this stand. Tower of Grey, B tier. Who's next? Oh, Toth! Toth, yeah, Toth. While the Oingo Boingo episodes were enjoyable from a comedic standpoint, and even especially the ones where, Boingo, right? Boingo and Whole Horse, when they team up, that's also pretty funny. However, I don't really think that this is a very powerful stand. Like, sure, the use of foresight, and, like, knowing the future, that's really, like, helpful and useful, but ultimately this stand doesn't do a whole lot. Now, design-wise, I don't really like the art style personally, but it's a fun art style, and the choice of, like, a comic book, to be, like, the use of a comic book or a manga, like, as a way to see into the future, that's a really, like well thought out concept, I think. So, there's that. It's either C or D tier. I'm sorry for all my, my Toth fans out there. You know, my gut says D tier. So that's that. Toth, D tier. Who's next? Oh, we got a celebrity in the house, y'all. So we're not gonna, okay, so I've decided, just right off the bat, we're not going to rank the Crusaders stands or Dio's stand just yet. We're gonna leave those for the end, so I'm gonna have to go back and find them all again. Which means that we're going into the sun is a deadly laser. What do I think about the sun? Well, it's round, it's hot, It's a burning ball of fire. It's like the fact that it can impact a whole environment the way that it did is a point in its favor. It just didn't do a whole lot other than that though, and it was taken out so easily once the gang figured out what was going on. Honestly, the sun is like, it's powerful, sure, but not that powerful. So it's gonna be another D tier, man. Like I just, there are so many cooler stands in part 3 alone. And then don't get me started on the other parts. Like we got a lot going on there. But just in comparison to everything else in part 3, D tier for the sun. Alright, Tenor Sax. So this is the stand of Kenny G, which made the entirety of Dio's mansion on the inside look like a maze. And that's all it did. So for that reason, F tier. Oh, it's the freaking boat! The boat's next. It's strength. My monkey boat itself. I get it's a cool, okay. It's a decent enough concept. Hate the stand user. A lecherous ape. Ugh, no. It's a cool concept, and like he really like I don't know. The gorilla could have made the stand look like anything else. So a massively powerful stand right off the bat. So there's that. It's just, honestly, I kind of really like strength as like a concept. The design, it's neat enough, but it could also, it's a very malleable stand, I think. It could just be whatever. Like, if the gorilla had a car, he could make like a really big car, because he had a little tiny boat, and he made a really big boat. So if he had a little tiny car, he could make a real big car. I'm actually gonna put this in, it's gonna go in C tier. It might move up to B tier real soon though, depending on how the rest of the stands play out. So strength, C tier. Oh, it's Set, or is it Sethen? Sethen? I don't know. In the I have it saved as Sethen. The LSC stand. Hate it. Don't like it. It's annoying. Mildly useful, but honestly, in what other context is it useful? Why would you want to de-age someone? Like really. And you know, the only like other point that it has in its favor is the fact that he has a hatchet. Now, if you don't know, I worked at a hatchet throwing house for a couple months recently, so it's already near and dear to my heart, because it's got a hatchet. But otherwise, hate this stand. Don't like it. Don't like Alessi. Don't like the baby Polnareff episodes. Baby Polnareff is adorable. Ultimately, it's an interesting concept, but not interesting enough to like fully keep my interest. It's a memorable stand enough, which is why I think it's just gonna end up going in E tier, because it's mildly more interesting than Tenor Sax. Sethen or Set, E tier. Osiris is next, and Osiris is Darby's stand. Darby the Elder stand, as you can see, evidenced by the poker chips, which is great because I would not have remembered which one he was without those poker chips as a visual reminder. I'm gonna rank it below the boat. It's a pretty, like, it can take a soul and condense it into a poker chip, which is already an interesting idea. The design, it's a meh. Like actually, like visually, like it could be a little more interesting. I like little fingers though, because like then it goes crunches the soul and then just it becomes a poker chip. Ultimately though, I don't think it's that powerful. Like sure, can rip out your soul if you lose a game against Darby, but other than that, what can it do? Not much. Not much. So, I think for that reason, it was a very memorable stand, though, because a lot of people remember the Darby episodes. Just the whole arc with Darby the Gambler, and then the video game episodes with Terence. So, I guess, because my criteria was, is it a memorable stand? It is kind of memorable, but I also think people more so remember Darby. So, just for that, okay, fine. It goes in C tier. It goes in C tier. Fine. Fine. There you go. Osiris, C tier. It's the Lovers! The Lovers. Very annoying stand. Very memorable episode. We all remember Steely Dan, or Dan of Steel, depending on what you watched. I personally watched the dub. Don't hate me. That episode was, like, real fun. It was really fun. The stand, however, he even says it in the episode. It's a pretty weak stand. All it really has going for it is its range and just kind of its ability to just take things and put them in people's bodies, like the flesh bud into Joseph's body or into Enyapa's body. So like there's that. But other than that, it's not really a good stand. Like, the user has to get hurt in order for any pain to really be inflicted upon the opponent. Also, it looks like a little bug, but it also looks kind of cute. Like, look at it. It's a little, like, it looks like a little crawdad. It looks like a little crawdad. It's got little pinchers. That's a point in its favor, actually. It looks like a little robotic crawdad. But it's not a great stand. It's not very powerful. Episode was memorable though, so like it's either D or E tier. No, it's E tier. It's definitely E tier. If I put Seth or Seth on in E tier, the Lovers are going in E tier as well. Up next is Noom. I don't want to look at this image. Ugh, I don't want to look at this image much longer. I'm just gonna shrink it down now. I don't want to. Okay, so we're just gonna put it there for now. Pretty versatile stand to a point. Not as malleable as Strength, but literally malleable as it makes your face malleable. How many times can I use that word in one video? We'll find out. Pretty useful for disguises, but other than that, it isn't a very powerful stand. So, for that reason, I'm gonna put it in D tier, along with his brother. No, wait, no. Well, it's either gotta be at the same level as Toph or below it. Because Toph, little more memorable. But that's just because it shows up in more than the one episode or one episode arc. I can't put them into the same tier as fucking Alessi and... Okay, fine. Knoom is gonna be D tier. Sorry, everyone. God, I am really not ranking... Oh, okay, here we go. Finally, we're gonna get, a pretty... Here we go. Here's a pretty scary stand. This is terrifying. Justice, terrifying. Zombies? Already, I'm scared. The design, pretty neat. Concept, Concept also pretty neat. As many of you know, I am a puppeteer. So anything that has to do with puppetry, I'm already just like, ooh. And you can literally puppet things around with this stand. So already it's getting like, it's hitting a bunch of good marks. Do I want to put it above? Oh my god, yes, of course I'm putting it above Wheel of Fortune. Why did I put Wheel of Fortune fucking B tier? Ugh, god, okay, yeah. No. Okay, Wheel of Fortune, okay, we're already gonna start moving things. Wheel of Fortune, moving into C tier. So Justice is moving into B tier. And Wheel of Fortune has been knocked down to C tier, where it belongs. Oh, cameo, Judgment. Of course, it's reverse alphabetical order. Duh, Bella. Judgment. Judgment was a pretty neat. Like, I like the concept. I really do like the whole, like, genie in a bottle thing. Get 3 wishes. I wish Polnareff Land was real. God, why couldn't we have that? And I think the idea of taking your deepest desires and your deepest wishes and then turning them on their heads and making them, turning it into your weakness and just generally fucking it all up is brilliant. So it gets points for that. Is it on the same level as Tower of Grey and Justice? Because I don't think it's above them. No, it's not above them. It's not below them either, so I guess this is gonna be another B tier stand. Come on. No. Oh god, okay, everything's kinda... We good? Okay, we got it. Judgment, B tier. Jonathan stand. We're just gonna do this one now because it's not technically one of the ones that I said I would save for last. And it doesn't really do a whole lot, so this is gonna be real quick. Jonathan stand. It's basically just Hermit Purple. It's just Hermit Purple. It's Hermit Purple but with less steps. It's Hermit Purple but with more steps, let's be real. Okay, no offense. Yeah, you can already see I'm dragging it towards the bottom, and then I'm like, well, where am I gonna put Hermit Purple? Not ranking Hermit Purple very high. Let's just start there. Love you, Joseph Joestar. You are my JoJo, but your stand kind of sucks ass. Jonathan's stand, from what I remember, it really was just Hermit Purple, but with a few less steps, so... I'm sorry, Jonathan. I'm gonna do you so dirty here. I don't want to put him in the same... Okay, just by virtue of you are Jonathan Joestar's stand, I can't rank you as an F tier. However, I can also not rank you as a D tier, so you are a solid E tier, my friend. I'm sorry. Jonathan's stand, which I believe is unnamed, we're just gonna call it Hermit Purple Diet? Diet Hermit Purple? E tier. Horus! Oh, terrifying. Already, you're going up there. You are scary. I was on the edge of my seat for like all of the Pet Shop and Iggy arc. Like, the tension, just the fear, just the sheer awe at the power that this fucking falcon had. Like, what? And I also like the idea that Dio found a bird and was like, oh, you're angry and edgy. I'm gonna stab you with an arrow now. And gave it a stand and a hat. He gave it a hat. Memorable? Not super memorable because honestly, we don't really get to see the actual stand design a whole lot. We just see the icicles and stuff, if I'm remembering correctly. But God, is it crazy powerful? Like, a lot of that has to do with the resilience of the user, of that fucking falcon itself. So, do I wanna, are you, Yeah, I think this is gonna be our first A tier stand. Cause I really don't want to put it on the same level as fucking Tower of Grey. And, you know, I think it's slightly more powerful than Cameo, Judgment. Justice, stay there. Justice will have words probably before this is done. So, Horus, Pet Shop stand. A tier. Holly stand. Holly stand. Holly stand. F tier. F tier. How dare you hurt our girl? How dare you hurt what a wonderful woman. She is wonderful. She is so sweet. And sure, the whole illness thing is the whole reason that the entirety of Stardust Crusaders happens. But also, why would you hurt Holly? Putting her through that pain just hurts me on a spiritual level, so for that, F tier. You get an F, 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 F. High Priestess. Oh man. User, not really memorable. Stand itself, though, very versatile. Very, very scary, honestly. Like, if you can cut up Star Platinum, then you automatically get bumped up to one of the higher tiers in my book. So, High Priestess, the design, just for the default stand, like without it taking on the form of anything, pretty scary. The concept of the stand, terrifying. This stand could be anything. It could get you at any moment. So, for that, we're gonna bump it into B tier. We're just gonna put you in B tier right away, bud. Solid stand. Solid enemy. Speaking of solid enemies, Hanged Man. Where the fuck do I want to put you? I'm trying really hard to be, like, objective, because once we get into, like, the Crusaders and their stands and all that, you know that I'm gonna be like, oh, Silver Chariot, my boy's boy. When you think about it, as long as you're not around a reflective surface, this guy can't do jack shit. So already, you're environmentally dependent if this is your stand. Mildly powerful, but not like super. He's like, it's scary. Definitely a scary design. That moment when it's introduced for the first time, when Polnareff is washing his hands, very, very spooky moment, sure. But you really gotta think that this stand is limited only to where there are reflective surfaces. And sure, your eyes can count as that. But because of that limitation, I think that knocks off a lot of power factor for it. So for that, I'm just gonna have to put it in C tier. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a pretty neat stand. Like, it was a neat battle to watch, sure. And it wasn't that neat, let's be real. It was nice to see Polnareff get his justice, sure. But, yeah, C tier for Hanged Man. Jeb or Geb. Is it Jeb or is it Geb? I think it's Geb. I think it's Geb. So, Geb is restrained to water, which somehow Ndul found water in the desert. I think he may have just poured out a water bottle and been like, "I see you later." And he was like 2 miles away from where the Joestar group was, which means that it's a pretty long-range stand, which is pretty neat, honestly. So, you hurt my boy Kakuin though, which automatically makes me angry, but it was a really scary stand within the episode, but then in comparison, I don't know. Where do I want to put you? I feel like I'm just dumping a lot of stands into that middle, like, C tier. Oh my god, yeah, no. You're ranking above Temperance. Also, I'm moving Temperance. I am moving Temperance. Okay, I know what I'm doing. I am moving Yellow Temperance out of C tier into D tier. Sorry everybody who has to share a tier with him now. You're stuck with him. Geb is gonna get C tier. Empress, not, really. I feel like this stand could have been so much more. I don't know how, but it could have. It was a fun episode to watch, definitely. We got to see a little bit of the old Joseph Joestar, which I love, seeing as he is my favorite JoJo. But Empress really, like, it depends on getting, like, some blood on you. So it's got that environmental restriction and all that, and the design, what is this? Just what is this? It's just weird. I don't really like this stand. I really just don't like this stand, so for that, I'm actually gonna put Empress in E tier. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Emperor! Oh god. A stand after my own heart. What? Y'all ever just think gun? Because that's all this stand is. It's kind of powerful. You kind of just always have a gun. I don't want to just give it like a higher ranking just because it's Whole Horse's stand. But it's also just funny that it's just a gun. It's going in D tier. It might move up later, but I'm sorry. It's going in D tier. It's going in D tier. I am very sorry, everyone. I feel like that placement is gonna get me a little bit of flack just already. I can feel it. Yeah. Oh, Ebony Devil! Honestly, kind of forgettable stand fight. Interesting concept. Don't really understand why it needed that, little push of, ooh, you made me angry, so now I'm gonna go after you doubly so. Very Chucky-esque, because it takes over a doll, so there's that, but, I don't know. I don't really, it wasn't a memorable stand fight in my eyes. Like, I really only just remember it because I recently did a playthrough of the 7th Stand User game. So, I'm gonna have to put it in E tier. Like, it's kind of a powerful stand, but at the same time, it's like, it's just annoying. Def 13. This is gonna be another powerful, like, high-ranking stand, just simply because you can't really do much in your dreams if someone else is in control of your dreams. And if it weren't for Hyperfant Green just happening to be out when Kakuin got knocked out, and thus meaning that he ended up in the dream world, everyone would have died. A baby would have taken out the entirety of the Joestar group, which is kind of funny, but it's, yeah, creepy design. I hate clowns. What a creepy design. Love the scythe, and the whole concept, just really, really fun. You're gonna get an A. You're getting an A. Yeah, you are an A tier stand, Death 13. Dark Blue Moon. Not really a memorable stand. I honestly don't remember a whole lot about what it did. Oh my god, that's what it looks like close up? Did not know that. He can make barnacles grow, but I don't know. It's a C. Is it even a C tier? It's a D tier. I'm sorry. Why did I put Emperor in the D tier? Emperor, you're going into C tier. I know where you belong. I'm sorry I did you wrong, baby. So Dark Blue Moon's gonna get a C tier. We are in it now. This, when I was talking about stands that like genuinely terrified me, I was specifically talking about Cream. This stand is horrifying. Just, it's just the design, the power. It was just on a fluke that Polnareff was able to, like, defeat Vanilla Ice when Vanilla Ice had this stand. And honestly, if Vanilla Ice wanted to, he doesn't. We know he doesn't. He could just get rid of Dio, but also, like, the rest of the world. It's oh, he's just creepy. He's creepy and scary, and the design is terrifying, but all of that is in his favor because this is gonna be our very first S tier stand. And that was something that I knew right off the bat when I decided to do this whole idea of ranking the stands. Even in numerical order, Cream was always gonna be number one. Like, even above Star Platinum, even above the world. It was always gonna be Cream. Our next stand is Bastet. Bastet? I don't know. The magnet stand. Sure, Bastet may have almost taken down Joseph Joestar and Abdul, but magnets? Really?
What's your favorite hobby?
Magnets.
Okay, what, like making magnets, collecting magnets?
Playing with magnets? Just magnets. I'm gonna put snowboarding.
And, like, the magnetic attraction getting stronger and stronger. Okay, that's, like, it's gonna make you a pretty powerful stand. But also just magnets? For that reason, I have to put Bastet in D tier. Not a super powerful stand. Don't really care for it. Who is this? Atum? It's another one where I don't know how to pronounce the name. This is Terence Darby's stand, as you can see by the T and the D. Okay, so it allowed Darby to see into people's souls to see their true, like answers to stuff. So that's neat. Could also take souls and put them into dolls. Also kind of neat. It also made Darby float off the floor. I don't know. Is that a stand thing, or is that another Tenor Sax special? I don't know. I know it's like a fan favorite, like the Darby brothers are fan favorites, but this just isn't really it. What did I rank? Yeah, it's not really a whole lot different than Osiris, so for that, we got another one for the C tier. Maybe. Oof. Anubis! The Jackal Sword. It's a sword. It possesses people, but really only in the hands of a trained swordsman can it do a whole lot of. Okay, well, that's not true. It's a sword that possesses people. That's neat, but is it powerful? It got put out of commission by getting thrown in a river. It's reduced to begging crabs to pick it up. What's a crab gonna do with a sword, Anubis? What's a crab gonna do with a sword? Look, the Anubis arc was fun, but you are not that powerful, buddy. You are E tier. You are E tier. I'm sorry. Very sorry. Very sorry. Okay, and with that, we get to go into the Crusaders and Dio's stand. So, what everybody's waiting for. Who's first? I think it's Hermit Purple who's gonna come up first. Yeah, Hermit Purple! Oh, we get it. Okay. Hermit Purple. Now, I love Joseph Joestar. Don't know if that was obvious, but I love Joseph Joestar. Okay. Hermit Purple is not that great of a stand, though. Like, I think Joseph just on his own with his hormone would be a little more powerful than Hermit Purple. Sure, yeah. We get into the argument of, yes, it's nice to have, like, an idea of the future that we had with, Toph. But, no, it can't do a whole lot. It can break TVs, can grapple things. It can do other stuff, right? Is that it? I can't remember if that's it or not. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Joseph. I'm gonna rank it slightly higher than I did Jonathan's stand, just because it's Hermit Purple. Like, it's a little more screen time, but it's a D tier stand. So, Hierophant Green. Ah, little green boy. Love him. Love him. So, already, why is the picture so pixelated? That's weird. Alrighty, it is a long range stand. Nobody can deflect the Emerald Splash. It can also puppeteer people. Like, we saw that once, maybe twice if you count, like, the end of the Death 13 fight, which is a cool power. It doesn't get utilized near as much as it should. So it's got its, like, good side. It also does look like a melon. It literally looks like a watermelon. There's that. I'm gonna give this a B tier, because it's not... Oh, but it beat Death 13 though, so should I put it in C? No. I'm gonna put it in B tier. It just so happened to beat Death 13, but that's neither here nor there. It also beat Greyfly. That was his name, Greyfly. So there's that. Here we fucking go. Here we go, guys. Here we go. We're in it now, baby. Magic Fiery Chicken. I love this stand. This is maybe my favorite stand. The second it showed up, I was just like hooked. You see it? You see it? It's bonkers. What a crazy design. I love it so much. I don't think we get to see Magician's Red. I was about to just call it Magic Fiery Chicken, because that's what I call it, just all the time. We don't get to see Magician's Red nearly enough, and I think that's a crime. I don't blame Araki for forgetting how to draw this wonderfully muscled chicken, but I do blame him for destroying him. I love this chicken so much, and honestly, Magician's Red is a pretty powerful stand. So I don't think anyone's really gonna argue with me putting him in A tier. I think it's Silver Chariot. Okay, now we get to the really hard decision, because as everyone and their mother knows, I love Jean-Pierre with all my heart. All my heart, all my soul. He's probably the reason that Stardust Crusaders is my favorite part. But Silver Chariot... It's a good stand, but it's not a great stand, you know? Like, I'm all for the rapier and the very few times that he actually shoots the blade off, and when he turns into a naked robot, that's neat. Sure, it's got some neat assets to it. It's a pretty short range stand. The design is cool. It's just not that powerful. It can be fast, but it doesn't have a lot of power. So there's that. And for that, because I'm trying really hard not to just be biased as hell, I'm gonna have to put it in B tier. Star Platinum. Short range stand, good design. Love it. Love the design. They're big and strong. Yeah. It's just the same stand as the world, though, isn't it? It's just the same stand as the world. Am I gonna rank them? Are they both? I don't know if it's an S tier stand, though. I think it's it might be an A tier stand, but I don't know if it's an S tier stand. Cause like, can anyone compare to Cream? I don't know. What would have happened if Vanilla Ice met Jotaro instead of Polnareff and Iggy and Avdol? I don't know. Like, Star Platinum would have had a hard time dealing with Cream, I think. Oh god. So... But like the time-stopping ability, you know, we get to see Star grow in his power throughout the series. And that's like cool and all, but at the end of the day, I don't think Star Platinum's an S tier stand. Whew, this might be my most controversial takes yet, because if I rank Star Platinum as A tier, since the world is... Oh, I forgot the Fool! The Fool! We don't have to deal with the world yet. Actually, we're gonna deal with the world now, let's be real. So we're actually gonna deal with the world right now. If I rank Star Platinum as A tier, I have to rank the world in the same tier because they're the same fucking stand. Okay, and now we deal with Iggy. Iggy, I'm so sorry I forgot your stand. The Fool. The Fool is a neat little stand. I do like this guy a lot. Is he A tier though? I don't think he's S tier, because that would mean he's... Well, okay, let's think about it. Because Jotaro literally says when the Fool is introduced that he thinks that Star Platinum would have a hard time defeating him in battle. Which, because they're the same stand, means that the world would also probably have one. But that's before the time stopping. This is a very difficult decision. Like, the Fool can do just so much. It's not very, like, actually, like, pow 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 powerful, but it's fast. It's pretty durable. The design is neat. Honestly, like, what the fuck is the design? What is it supposed to be? I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's... Like, out of everything that you could imagine Iggy's stand being, if you didn't know that this was his stand, would you imagine that this is the stand of a little French bulldog? No, not really. And he's fast, and he can do so much. And Star Platinum would even have a hard time beating him. Yeah, this is gonna be a very controversial tier list because I am gonna rank the Fool as S tier, but he did, well, no, because he helped, and he did kind of, like, help in defeating Cream, so like it would kind of make sense for them to be in the same tier, because he was fast enough to get Polnareff out of the way. Yeah. The Fool is our other S tier, and with that, that completes my ranking. This is the tier list. It's a little surprising for sure, but, you know, I think it's alright. I think that's okay, you know, I just look at it, stare at it, wonder what the fuck's going through my mind, because I am wondering that myself. That's gonna do it for my tier list ranking of all the stands in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3 Stardust Crusaders. Man, that is a odd tier list. I don't think it's inaccurate, though. That's the thing. I don't think it's inaccurate at all. So, that's gonna do it for this video. If you've stuck around till the end of this, you are a braver soul than I. Hopefully you got some enjoyment out of this. If you did, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you want. I do mostly music-related content, but every now and again I pop in with a JoJo's related video. Whether that's a JoJo's song cover or me playing a dating sim or a date one of the Jo stars. And maybe I'll come up with some more stuff. Maybe I'll do a ranking of all the stands in part 4 and part 5. And eventually part 6. Who knows? But with that, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you around.